All right,
Hey, John.
here we go. Hey, Eric. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Good. It's uh
Well,
it's been a
that's better than the opposite.
long 2 days. Long three, long four. It's been a long number of days. Early mornings, late nights.
Time change always messes with me.
Yeah.
Always messes with me.
Yeah. If only there were something we could do about changing our clocks every 6 months. If only there was something that no one else has thought of. Arizona.
Like not.
Uh,
Well,
it's all good.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. It just really sucks that it's dark.
At 3:30 in the afternoon. Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh,
I do not live where it's supposed to get dark that early. Dang it.
no.
But evidently I am location proximate or whatever. Anyway. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was time change this weekend
Mm.
was, I guess this is the nice side. You gain an hour instead of lose an hour, but still.
In the morning. So it's nicer in the morning, but worse in the evening. Right? It gets
I'm more saying for the whole day, you got an extra hour in your Sunday. Collectively, we decided
to
you
sleep
got
through
an
it.
extra hour on your in your Sunday. I don't know. You can sleep. You can do whatever you want to do.
I
Our dogs keep us well apprised of the time, and they do not believe.
they don't understand the concept of daylight savings
No,
time.
this is not.
You got the wrong breed of you didn't get the daylight savings dogs.
No, they are creatures of habit. I guess there's a reason why that phrase exists.
Okay.
So, anything fun? Anything fun this week? Air quote fun.
Air quote. I don't know how. So we got new doors. I think I've talked about that a while ago.
Yeah.
And my wife realized when she went to hang up some stuff on the door, she likes to hang up. Eventually, a Christmas wreath will be going there. There's a turkey thing she sticks up there for Thanksgiving. The previous door had a door knocker, which she would hang things off of.
Oh,
this new door has nothing to hang her things off. So she wanted a door knocker. So I acquired a door knocker. And then I panicked on how am I going to get this screwed through, because you got to end to end to get it all the way through. It's not just tape it on a brand new door. And I was very nervous. So I 3D printed myself a template so that I could tape and level the template to the door with extended holes for where I was going to drill through, so that and I had a level that I held on top of the drill so that I could drill it straight and level. And because I wanted it, I am OCD or whatever. It had to be perfectly centered between the two panels and up and down. You know,
I will throw no stones
and
no rocks thrown.
I very happily patted myself on the back at the extra amount of time I took before I put it up. We had it for a week before I actually,
You know what I need to do? I need to design a template and then spend hours printing it.
Yes.
So that the hole through the door is centered and straight.
And perfect. And just the right size of the drill bit, measuring everything. And I am pleased to report that it is halfway done.
Oh gosh, I thought what?
So here's the halfway part.
Oh no.
She also wanted one with one of those peepholes, the eye holes. So the template has where the two screws go for the top and bottom to screw in and then it also has a hole, but it's a much bigger hole. It's a 1/2-inch hole. And I just have not got the guts to drill a 1/2-inch hole through. So I 3D printed a cap that goes over the hole where the eyepiece should go on, because it's through the center of the door knocker. So it would be just a hole if I didn't.
Okay.
So I 3D printed myself a plug until I get the guts to drill the final hole for the eyepiece through the door. So
are you going to go to the store? Is Amazon going to deliver you some guts tomorrow or this weekend? Or like, what is the gut delivery system?
I don't know. I don't drink, so that's not an option.
Do you need me to bring a drill over and be like, I can put it in?
No. This is why I did not want...
That is negative.
This is why I didn't want the door people to put it, because they would have just slapped it up there and put it wherever and done. We have it exactly where my wife wanted it.
Of course.
And now I just need to get the courage to put the door knocker back up, take it off, put my template back up, and screw the eyepiece hole all the way through. And
is it a wood door at least?
Fiberglass. So it's kind of got a thin aluminum exterior.
Okay.
And then fiberglass insulation in the middle. So it went, like, as soon as it went through the exterior piece, it popped super fast all the way to the other side and freaked me out, because I was like, pressure, pressure, pressure. And then boom, I went, the 1.5 inches extra, and I got nervous. And then I poked it through the other side, and I had put blue tape on the other side. So hopefully it wouldn't, splinter the other side as it popped through. And anyways, it was a whole thing. And I do have a 1/2-inch drill bit to do the eyepiece. I just have not drilled it through yet.
I'm trying to remember what the name of the drill bit is that has a spur point, it looks like, maybe.
It looks like a little devil's pitchfork, the wood ones.
No, they've got like a lot of drill bits don't have, they have a angle at the top, but they don't have a point at the top.
Oh, yeah.
So for wood, you often have to be really careful, and you actually don't want to break through to the other side with the full hole.
Right.
So generally for wood bits, you'll take the point and you'll go through so that just the tiny point comes out, and then you'll go to the opposite side, use that point to center your bit, and then go in that way.
I have that drill bit.
Cleaner surface on both of those.
That's the drill bit I have. But it says it's for wood, and I'm just not brave enough to do that.
Yeah.
For fiber, it's like, do I go spend the $20 to get a fiberglass drill bit? I don't know.
No, it will totally work.
I know it'll totally work, but how will it? Will it splinter? Work. And then will I look underneath? If I, like I said, I need a gut delivery system.
Okay, just go watch some YouTube videos. They'll help you out.
Yes. Done. So, anyways.
Anyway, okay. All right. Well, that
was my scary weekend for Halloween.
Okay. I feel like a crotchety old man there, where like somebody mentioned to me last week that it was Halloween, and I was like, oh, I had not put two and two together. Hence, A, I don't have young kids, and B, I guess I don't talk to other people.
Well, and it's not like you live somewhere where people will trick or treat.
No, nobody trick or treats. No. My son did volunteer to go to the store for half-priced Halloween candy.
Like on November 1st.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Okay, so I actually also had a kind of semi-home improvement project. Home improvement? I don't know. Okay, so for months, I don't actually know how long, our garage light hasn't worked. Mm-hmm. It hasn't come on. And the breaker was flipped. And I flipped the breaker on, and then it would like stay on for like until I left the garage. And then it would like be flipped the next, like a couple minutes later. I would go and like, is the light still on? Anyway, so I was like, well, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But the breaker shouldn't stay on if there was a short in there. So this weekend, I went and I was like, maybe the breaker's bad. So I got it. I took the panel off, took the breaker out just to take it down to Lowe's and be like, replace the breaker. So I replaced the breaker. The new breaker would not stay on at all.
Mm.
So maybe the other breaker was bad because it shouldn't have been staying on because there was clearly a short. Anyway.
Okay.
I that was the extent of my crumb. Now what do I do? I didn't exactly know how many, like what all was on that outlet. Clearly the garage lights and clearly our porch lights the front porch.
Right.
And that we did literally this past summer, like this past spring. And so my solve for this, I don't know if this is me growing up or getting lazy, was to text the person who did the brick in the front porch, be like, hey, send me your electrician because the lights don't work anymore. And so this weekend he came out. And he is very nice, and I had anyway, blah blah blah. So he was like, oh, it's probably the breaker, and I'm like, I just replaced the breaker. He's like, oh, well, I guess let's do some experimenting. So we did, and he was like, oh man, and like this is I think I got the. I mean, he's good, but this is clearly his side gig, not his primary gig. And he was like, oh, I was debugging my furnace last night and I left my multimeter at home. I'm like, I got a multimeter. So I go out, I bring the multimeter in. And we took the lights apart. We verified that if the front porch lights were off, the breaker would stay on. So with a bit of like A, B, we realized that it was something about the front porch lights, which is good because that's the thing that he had done. Anyway, so we go out, take apart the porch lights, and of course they're in like brick. So like, what are you going to do with them? Well, so this is what the multimeter eventually was for. The ground and the neutral, the black wire. No, sorry, that's not neutral.
Black's hot, right?
I don't remember if it was the black or the white wire. Either so the white and the black were not connected.
Okay.
But the ground and one of the two, I think it was the black, were like connected. So everything's turned off, and we had a tone between the ground and the hot wire.
Okay.
Meaning that he's like, well, it's off the ground coming out from the garage under the porch to these lights, but between the two lights, these are basically columns at the bottom of our steps up to the porch.
Right.
That's just on the ground. A rodent must have chewed the wire.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. There's no way underneath the porch. The only way to take it into the porch is to take off the deck boards and then crawl down, I guess. Anyway.
And still unresolved?
You don't need ground.
I see.
So the far light, thankfully, and I don't know if this makes that much difference, but the far light no longer has a ground. It basically got clipped. He's like, man, most countries don't have ground anyway. It's fine. And I'm like, I'm going to reluctantly accept that because I don't want to take the boards off my deck.
Okay.
So, anyway, I don't. That was a long story for my porch lights work and my garage lights work. And the net of this is that it was not a problem until now it's dark and you'd actually like to be able to turn the garage lights on.
Of course.
It's nice to turn the garage lights on.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, net, everything works.
Okay.
Which I guess all's well that ends ungrounded. I don't know.
Until someone touches your your metal.
It wasn't the white and the black that had been connected.
That would probably trip a lot faster.
If that had been the case, then we would have had to actually
remove deck boards.
The deck. Anyway.
Okay.
And that's my story. So I guess I don't know if that was something fun that I did this weekend, but it was something that happened.
Okay. Well, we should get into other non-fun things.
Okay, I threw a thing into follow-up. Because last week's topic was about that botnet. And there was this wasn't really a follow-up, but I noticed on Krebs on Security, his top post today, at least, was that Cloudflare had taken off. So evidently this Aisuru botnet had been using Google's DNS, but they must have switched to using Cloudflare's DNS 1.1.1.1. And Cloudflare has a top sites, I guess, in the world, but they rank their top sites based on DNS traffic. And so these malicious domains, two, at least in the screenshot at the top of the blog, two of these malicious domains from the Aisuru botnet were in the top 10 domains published by Cloudflare. Which means there be traffic.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so I just thought that was it's related to last week's topic, but there's the comment was that, let's see, over the past week, domains used by Aisuru to control infected systems started populating Cloudflare's top domain rankings. But Cloudflare put a comment at the top. So they redacted the sites, and they said, note that the top 100 domains and trending domain lists include domains with organic activity as well as domains with emerging malicious behavior. So that was a caveat at the top of Cloudflare's top sites. There was a lot of other comment in here about the fact that this is supposed to be the top websites.
Yeah.
DNS lookups is not really a proxy for websites.
Yeah.
Not as human sites, but anyway.
Right.
So there you go.
What computers do on their own time is not the same as what humans do.
Exactly. So
okay.
All right. What'd you bring for a topic this week?
I apparently beat you to the punch on this one.
I do.
Unless you've been under a rock. This was kind of funny.
I'm going to use air quotes for that. Funny.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
You're correct. The Louvre had the robbery that occurred.
Yes.
And
yes.
As far as I know, they have not caught the people who've done it yet.
I thought that they had made arrests, but they had not recovered anything.
Maybe that's it.
But it seems like that's. I haven't looked for a bit.
So apparently, a French newspaper has been gathering reports of the various audits of the museum security systems, and wrote a nice little article on the results of these audits. For example, one audit carried out in 2014, so 11 years ago, by France's National Cybersecurity Agency showed that, indeed, the Louvre's video surveillance system password was Louvre. And if you know how to spell that, which, if you're French, that's probably pretty easy.
I was going to say they're not Americans.
That was the password for the video surveillance system. Because the article, I couldn't quite tell if
in 2014.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell if because the article was titled "The Louvre's video security password was reportedly the word Louvre," which is just slightly better than the word password. But I don't know if that was
capital P
because because of the audit from 2014 and they're making a joke, or if that still was that after 11 years. I feel like it probably wasn't, but
I should hope not.
Anyways, there were apparently a bunch of the subsequent security audits since then have showed a bunch of different shortcomings in the museum systems that included easy access to rooftops during periods of construction and security software that was more than 2 decades old and unsupported by its developer, also known as Windows 98.
Oh my.
So it says, anyone who's had to work in an office that still has one Windows 98 machine running, the ancient inventory system might be able to sympathize. So it's not currently known, at least at the time of this article, what factors contributed to the security failures of the robbery. But of course, there's a lot of investigation because it's the French crown jewels that were kind of stolen, which to me is like, where's the Pink Panther?
Yeah.
And that'll foreshadow my something fun. So no one was hurt. Everything was fine. But the thieves were in and out in 8 minutes. So 4 minutes inside the museum and 4 minutes outside the museum, and they were gone. My something fun is a continuation of this.
Okay, I read your something fun.
All right,
I looked ahead.
So there you go.
I cheated.
Good passwords. Okay. Please use good passwords.
Okay, but I in looking at that article, I don't think that was still the password.
No,
I think that's a clickbait.
I totally think that was clickbait headline.
But even in 2014,
you would think
security system video surveillance password should not be Louvre.
You would think it shouldn't be, but there you go.
Okay.
All right. You probably brought a serious one.
It's serious-ish, I guess. I'm only saying it's not completely serious because this is still seemingly a threat in development. But this is Google saying that they discovered an unknown threat actor using an experimental VB script dubbed PROMPTFLUX that interacts with Gemini.
Okay.
To write its own source code for improved obfuscation and evasion. So, in the source code of the malware, they have a thinking robot component which queries Gemini to obtain new code and then integrate it into its own. So it has a self-modification function, although they said this attempt to update self was commented out in the code that they were looking at. It says, I'm reading this. Although the self-modification function attempt to update self is commented out, its presence combined with the active logging of AI responses to temp thinking robot log.txt clearly indicates the author's goal of creating a metamorphic script that can evolve over time. So,
metamorphic software.
Exactly. The tech giant also said, continuing to read here, it discovered multiple variations of PROMPTFLUX incorporating LLM-driven code regeneration, with one version using a prompt to rewrite the malware's entire source code every hour by instructing the LLM to, quote, act as an expert VB script obfuscator. And then, so okay, you gotta tell it what role to play. But the other interesting quote I pulled out of this is that said, and this was later in at least one instance, and this is not about the PROMPTFLUX, but about other users using Gemini. It says, the threat actor is said to have reframed their prompts by identifying themselves as a participant in a capture the flag event in an exercise to bypass guardrails and trick the AI system into returning useful information. That can be leveraged to exploit a compromised endpoint.
Right. So how do I get around... Yeah, I can't tell you how to create malware, but if you say, I'm a professor teaching how to do this, I got it.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Exactly.
Like no bad guys would have thought of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
So the article has a list of identified users, mostly China, North Korea, Iran.
Surprise.
Abusing Gemini. But the last sort of two things I pulled out of this was first that Google, and again, quote, says it expects threat actors to move decisively from using AI as an exception to using it as the norm in order to boost speed, scope, and effectiveness of their operations. And, quote, the increasing accessibility of powerful AI models and the growing number of businesses integrating them into daily operations create perfect conditions for prompt injection attacks. Threat actors are rapidly refining their techniques, and the low-cost, high-reward nature of these attacks makes them an attractive option.
Of course it does.
Yes. I'm just trying to figure out, like, why would you be hitting Gemini? Or any of the large hosted models?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's because they could.
Yeah.
It's false flag operation.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, I shouldn't. Don't give anybody any ideas. I guess don't give anybody any ideas. That would be a bad thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So, that was a quick run through a couple of topics. I'm ready for something fun.
So my something fun is a follow-up to the Louvre heist. I don't know if you saw this, but for the Louvre heist, they didn't walk through the front door. They had a ladder, like one of those ladders with the buckets, that they pulled up in, moved it to the second floor window, rode the little carriage up to the top, hopped out, did their thing, hopped out, and then came down. There's video of this on this website. Yes. Well, the company whose ladder this was used the opportunity to create a social media post that says, when you need to move fast, the Böcker Agilo transports your treasures weighing up to 400 kilograms at 42 meters per minute, quiet as a whisper. And it is hilarious. So the company's managing director told a news agency that when it became clear no one was injured in the heist, it had used a, quote, touch of humor to draw attention to the family-run business. The crime is a quote from the company. The crime is, of course, absolutely reprehensible. That's completely clear to us. It was an opportunity for us to use the most famous and most visited museum in the world to get a little attention for our company. Yeah. Well done. So, and they're getting a lot of positive. I mean, that could have gone either way.
Yeah, I could see that. And I could see that.
Apparently it got a lot of haha funny, but there is a video of the thieves coming down the ladder. They actually caught them coming down in this little bucket, and it's moving pretty quick. And they, like I said before, they were in and out. They took off with a bunch of famous jewels. And the thing that came to my head was the Pink Panther. Did you ever watch those Peter Sellers 1970s Blake Edwards Pink Panther movies? My dad loved those. So I've seen them all.
I'm sure I've seen a couple.
And they were all about, the Pink Panther, the most famous diamond in the world, is stolen, and this clumsy, bumbling French detective finds it, through pure accident, like unintentional. Anyways, so I thought, well, this is funny. Apparently, and I was unaware of this, there is a Pink Panther gang, and they're wondering if it was the Pink Panther gang. So the Pink Panther gang in Europe targets jewelry stores and museums in Europe and Asia and has carried out some of the largest heists in history. So I wonder if this is art precedes reality here, raking in $500 million worth of stolen goods between the early 90s and the mid 2010s. While I'm reading the article from CBS News here now. While there's no evidence that the theft at the Louvre is connected to the Pink Panthers, but the brazen nature of the robbery is similar to those carried out by the gang. And then just gives a quick update. They're mostly from Eastern Europe. They many of them fought in the Serbian Special Forces during the Bosnian Wars in the mid-1990s. The gang has no organized chain of command. It uses experts in fields like safecracking, carjacking, and more. They bring military discipline and expert planning to their thefts, and often doing weeks of surveillance and preparation before hitting their targets. So who knows if it was the Pink Panthers, but that also reminded me of something that I remember fondly and fun from my childhood is my dad loving Peter Sellers and the Pink Panther movies and having seen most of those. So there you go. That's my topic. Shift to something fun.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, you get double the efficacy.
Yeah, I think this is a something fun episode.
Okay. All right. So my something fun is not super fun.
I did see it though. I did look at your.
So yeah. The article I'll put in here is to National Geographic, but that's kind of behind a paywall. I got it through Apple News is where I first saw it, and evidently you can read National Geographic if you're on Apple News. Mm-hmm. But so this is about the melting of the permafrost and the fact that what was like underneath the permafrost was basically it says across northern Alaska lay rocks that began as shale and sediments on the floor of an ancient ocean. Over time, bacteria formed them into pyrite, often called fool's gold, mm-hmm. metal that contains both iron and sulfur. Okay. For millennia, these deposits were locked in permafrost, protected from air and water. But as the frozen earth warms, it's exposing the bedrock, beginning a destructive process that releases sulfuric acid and oxidizes the iron into a toxic orange cocktail that can be carried downstream for miles. Oh. And if you look at the pictures in this article, you're like, rivers are not supposed to be bright orange.
Yeah.
And they are bright orange.
Yeah.
And this is all over in Alaska that also said that it's in Canada, it's in northern parts of Europe, even in some places in high areas of Colorado, where, the temperatures are warming and you've got high quantities of iron, and it's essentially the rivers are rusting.
Yeah.
But they're creating such high levels of acid that the fish are dying and causing ecosystem collapses in places. So,
well, I imagine a lot of that. Sorry. Now I'm reading. I was just saying, I imagine a lot of that also includes drinking water for humans.
Yes.
Downtown sorry.
I pulled out that paragraph as well. The article starts with says in the summer of 2019, ecologist Patrick Sullivan and a Super Cub plane pilot navigated over the Brooks Mountain Range, blah, blah, blah. And then they went back with a large group in 2023 to take a lot of samples and measurements. But this doesn't sound like it's something that's got widespread press. And it says even here, it says, so far, researchers are still at the stage of documenting the rusting river problem, and many of the consequences are only beginning to come into focus. For the Alaskan communities who rely on these rivers for drinking water and food, information has been hard to come by. The town of Kivalina, which draws its water from the Wulik River downstream of multiple acid seeps, told National Geographic the tribal administrator was not yet aware of the problem. Conventional treatment, like that used at large industrial sites such as the state's zinc and lead Red Dog mine, is very expensive and only effective for a single source. And this is all over the place. So it says...
it almost looks like... It's so orange, it looks like lava flowing downhill.
It does. Like you really... I mean, put one of these pictures as the chapter art so people can see it, even if they don't read the article. But... it is not pretty looking. It is kind of scary and sad.
Yeah.
And there's lots of fish die off. And then one of the comments was that they, as they were paddling down the river, they were being looked at suspiciously by some very hungry looking bears that were skinny and looking for food. So anyway, the final comment in the article was that it's an omen of more cryptic and ongoing environmental change yet to be perceived as warming proceeds. There's actually no one protected or immune from the consequences yet to come. This isn't something that was predicted or understood or realized. And the consequences could wind up being pretty large, at least for that area.
Yeah.
And
on that note.
Yeah, so that's not really a fun, I guess. It's not super fun, but there you go.
Okay.
That's my article for the week.
Yours was orange, mine was pink.
There we go.
All right,
my friend.
Hey, have a good night, John.
Have a good one, Eric. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.